These fashions from the Ghanaian capital are young, urban, and above all, mega hip. You can look good and take responsibility. That's the message from Accra's young designers, like Elisha Barful, and the duo behind the non-profit label The Revival, Yahira Akbofa and Kwamena Dazi Boyson.
Our design is just our tool to engage every individual, every global citizen to wake up and say and question everything about the clothes that we wear or things that we are consuming.
At their studio in Accra, the two men mix different materials and pre-loved garments to create something new. Used clothes that arrive in Ghana by the ton from the US, Europe and Asia are a source of inspiration.
As we all know, our materials used in clothing are non-biodegradable, most of them, and then they have a very negative impact on the environment when it's being disposed. So we are trying to deconstruct the idea of what waste really means when it comes to textile, when it comes to fashion.
And this is where the men from The Revival source their materials. Kantamanto, the biggest market for second-hand clothing in Ghana and across West Africa. Here, some 30,000 traders buy, sort and resell around 40,000 tons of clothing each year. More than 15 million items change hands each week, though due to their poor quality, roughly half of them end up in the trash.
That's it. We get the London ones, the China ones, the Korean ones, the Canada ones, and we get the grace. We get A, we get B. And it's not all that good. So you open it, and at the end of the day, you get racks.
That's given rise to a flourishing upcycling business in Kantamanto, where many textile merchants still try to find takers for their lower quality wares. Some local initiatives add a dash of colour to faded fabrics to tempt potential buyers. In tailors' workshops, old clothes are used to make new ones. As cheap clothing becomes more available around the globe, the mountains of second-hand textiles keep growing in Ghana. What starts as fast fashion soon winds up here, often strewn on the beaches and in the sea. And because more synthetic fibres are being used in garments, the materials with their chemical residues may linger here for centuries. It's a threat that worries fashion activist and environmental researcher Harriet Ann Ajabing.
I am concerned about the environment. I'm concerned about everybody within the second-hand business supply chain because fast fashion and second-hand go hand in hand. So, yeah, I guess. And our air is polluted, apparently. So these are just things that we should start paying a lot more attention to and start consciously developing business modules that actually puts less pressure on the environment.
But she says we really need to get to the root of the problem. Ghana's quality controls for second-hand clothing imports are in urgent need of improvement.
Not everyone sees Kantamanto as a hub for the sourcing of raw materials. So I feel holding the brands, the fast fashion brands, accountable and looking at the bigger picture of how, the regulations could actually contribute to national socio-economic development.
To date in Ghana, it's been mainly activists or artists like Michael Gah who've given much thought to how to use the clothing waste that's already in the country.
I saw these pieces around that people are not buying. So I took it upon myself to also buy them to create my pieces, not only for the beauty, I'm also creating awareness for the environment, because these are some of the the materials that we find in the beaches as waste, and they choke our gutters too. So I'm also creating awareness for people to be eco-friendly.
Cheap clothes can even be transformed into art. It's one of the creative ways of dealing with the waste from fast fashion imports.